my name because I suffered to get it. I'm happy that I have seen a proposal for reforms. Yes, long overdue. Dafia Mekpo sent me a proposed, reform or review of the legal education in Ghana, and I'm particularly excited about it because Charlie, this monopoly must end. There are several intelligent people in this country who, by reason of whatever, were not able to pass their exams. Very, very intelligent people, and then you have, I'm sorry, but you have other people who are not necessarily, too intelligent. Those are the ones who are passing and going to Makola. They get to Makola, they stay in the school for 6-7 years. And the people who are very dedicated and passionate about the law, for whatever reason, they are unable to pass their exams. And so most of them give up. So day in and day out, we are losing very intelligent people who could have contributed to the constitutionalism of this country. You see? So the monopoly must cease. And I'm happy that NDC is fulfilling one of its promises to the good people of this country, that they were going to reform the legal education system in this country, to decentralize it, so that when you are in Bole Bamboy, Wale Wale, when you are in Fanchine Ko, Fanchine Bra, Kote Abua, you will be able to attend any university of your choice, provided you've done the LLB and you want to continue. You can continue your practice education or practical education in any of these institutions. I'm very excited about it. To be honest with you, if Dramani Mahama is able to do this for the good people of this country, Mahama, no, Antimanya, no, wala. President Kaje is here seated, as usual. I don't know why he's wearing a yentuma this morning. Why? Who died?
Well, Adekoka has passed on.
Yes.
Not too long ago, Sampiale passed on, and these are very good friends of mine. In fact, they're all Abdekma West people.
Let me tell you something. A little secret. So before I introduce you, when Alan Chamantin sort of mentioned me, there are only two people who understood that political decision from my camp beyond the other people were Ambassador Sampiale and Adekoka. In fact, Ambassador Sampiale consistently without fail called to encourage me, to motivate me, and even told me that, Kwame, I know you can do this. Go out there and make a change. No matter what happens, you have etched your name, on the history stones of this country. So, I mean, look, these two people here, they are wonderful human beings. I mean, it's not because, they say that when people die, that's when we praise them. But the truth is that if you die, you are a useless man, nobody will praise you. I remember there's I don't know if you've seen it, some Nigerian police officer who apparently died 2 days ago. And if you read the comments, the guy said, people are saying that, yes, he will never find rest. I'm telling you, there's a woman who apparently was pregnant. The man maltreated the woman, etc. The woman came and wrote under the post and said, this man will never rest in peace. So, as for the judgment day, we'll get it on there on earth.
Actually, Ambassador Sampiale used to almost every day call me. I always post something on my page, and immediately it comes up, we read it and pass his comments and give advice. And then when the MC elections were also coming up, he gave a lot of advice as to how we should go around things. And I think this is a very passionate person who wants to see development of our country, not just a party. And I think that we must celebrate the life of Ambassador Sampiale, and also now Adekoka. I remember he used to be in London with my dad. That they stayed in the same, house, in my uncle's house in London. And I know him very well.
Do you know the cause of his death? Because he seemed very strong. I mean,
he's not been well. I mean, he's not been well for some time, but I don't think discussing the cause of people's...
it's material at this moment.
Yes, especially when it's health related. I mean, we don't want to go into these things. But may their souls rest in peace, and we should also all recognize that one day we'll all leave. And so let's leave our mark here today, even as we are alive. And I want to hold the two of you up to a challenge that you threw on the set. June 4th is coming.
You will never be disappointed.
June 4th is coming. How many days away? 2, right? So Ghana?
Ora will work definitely.
Okay. All right.
Ora definitely will work.
All right. So this morning, Solomon Usu has joined us. And I want to say a good morning to you, a special good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother, and let me associate myself. I mean, as for Ambassador, yeah, like what my brother was saying, every set that I went, even whilst I'm delivering, if he disagrees with me, we'll be bantering immediately. Then when he thinks that I right, he will tell me. Ambassador is such a wonderful person that you can never get him wrong. He doesn't get angry. He will call you, he will message, oh, what a wonderful human being.
Yeah.
And so, wherever he is, Ambassador, may your soul rest. It's a journey that all of us will meet you. Maybe by the time we get there, you would have formed a political party for us to be together with Adiko, another wonderful person. I mean, the last 3 weeks, I together with him and then Kwesiakwa, we went on original TV. It was a lovely show. After the program, we all stood by the compound. We had a chat more than 30 minutes discussing various issues. And you could see someone who was so passionate about the country.
Down to earth.
So passionate. All his views was to develop this country. It's all about the development of this country. And such people, you need to emulate or learn something from them. It's a journey that all of us will definitely have to take, Kwame. Today is them, tomorrow is us. So we just have to, like PD said.
Reminds me of Osibisa's song.
Yes.
Heaven knows where we are going.
But definitely we will get there.
We will get there.
Surely we have to get there.
Yeah.
So we wish them all the best and the family especially in these times.
Listen, on Friday, I believe, I took to my Twitter or X page and I queried. I said, is he in Ghana? And I said, no hockey-pocky business. It is the last day of May. So that means that Ken Ofori-Atta was supposed to be in Ghana yesterday and to heed to the call of OSP to answer to very, very important questions. What we are learning this morning is that Ofori-Atta said, let's do virtual. He wants to do virtual meeting, but when he was the finance minister, he was not virtually managing our money. Ken Ofori-Atta was not virtually managing our money. But now that OSP wants to, see him and perhaps probe into his matters, he says that he wants a virtual meeting. I don't know whether it's for a business meeting or for accountability meeting. But that's what we are learning, Solo. Solo, are you not frustrated, first of all, by the conduct of the special prosecutor to begin with, and by the conduct of Ken Ofori-Atta? It appears we are treating Ken Ofori-Atta with kid gloves.
Kwame, I am not frustrated with the conduct of Ken Ofori-Atta, but I'm more frustrated with the conduct of the OSP. Right. Because it is the OSP that is giving the license to Ken Ofori-Atta to do whatever he is doing. Kwame, the day OSP declared Ken Ofori-Atta as a fugitive, the following day as a wanted person, the next day as a clean person, we sat here and I said this was Ashtown 101 strategy. It was just to give him a clean sheet, and that this matter would not be revisited if Ghanaians were not up in arms, if we were not going to go after the OSP to do what was right. He would take all of us for a ride, and that is what we are experiencing. Believe you me, in those days, we heard from Afenyo. Afenyo actually said that Ken Ofori-Atta was going to be in town in May. And he made this statement on the floor of Parliament. The moment he said that, the next thing we heard from the OSP was that he had said he was going to come somewhere in June. That was why I said, look at these people. They are playing with our emotions. They are playing with the people of this country. But you see, Kwame, there is this trend, this foolish belief that public office is for dissipation of public resources. The politicians that have come today, they have some stupid belief, excuse my friend, but we are not going to mince words, that when they are giving public portfolio, they think that every resources available to that office is for them. So they can do whatever pleases them. Look, I was watching a video just this morning of an interview that was done by Titus Glover, and I couldn't believe it. That are we serious as a country? He said the only reason we must release Wood to me is the fact that when the MPP took over in 2017, there were some MPs from the NDC side that engaged in double salaries, who were pardoned. Listen to someone that wants to leave this country, who were pardoned. So why must this government not pardon Wontumi? Come on. Why did we go wrong as a country? Title Global used to be the Greater Accra Regional Minister Deputy. Can you imagine? And he was bold as though he was speaking sense to the people of this country that, yes, Wontumi might have done something wrong, but you too, you did something wrong, we left you off. Is it about you or is it about the laws of the land? And that is why you can have Ken Ofori-Atta tell us. I'm telling you, he's not going to come.
That is very disrespectful.
No, but let me tell you what is going to happen. By the time he realizes, he would, as it were, put in motion his citizenship card. He will even get American passport. He will not be Ghanaian again, and he will not come. Take it from me. He does not intend to come to this country again.
The man go after his business then.
Oh, he is done with us. The business, but then he would have changed all the share structures. He has nothing to do with it. I will be very surprised that now all the business that I think belongs to him, he will have anything to do with it. So we have left him to go off the hook. We can't do anything. But are you surprised? This was the OSP that we petitioned him on the All Africa Games matter. As we speak, have we received any correspondence from him on the $250 million saga? That Benia Tuo's wife and all those in the Jubilee House, they told this country that they used $50 million to cook wachi for all the athletes. Yes. You remember that issue?
No, we went together.
Didn't you go together? Has he even found the need to respond to us? That journalists, tax alone, costed this country $4.6 million. I go to Legon a lot. Elizabeth say, Liman, Kwapon, these hostels, stretch of hostels that are already being occupied by students. They told us they used $60 million to, as it were, renovate it. The University of Ghana Stadium, that was almost 86% complete. They said they used $34 million to complete it. When in Takwa, Goldface have used only $13 million to construct a new stadium. What are we talking about? Here was Ken Ofori-Atta, who, with the least opportunity, will coach you, if not, what do you call it, Philippians 4:19, or Matthew 13, or Nehemiah 2:19. He started by telling this country, the first budget, you know the name that he gave to it? Asempa budget, that he was bringing the good news. He left Asempa budget and moved to what we call a Juma budget. From a Juma budget, he told us that beyond that, he was bringing Impuntuo budget. And from Impuntuo, he ended with a hoto. That was the first step. When he realized that things weren't going the way it should, he said, 1 year, 1 year budget. That was the first time he introduced Ghana into our lexicon in budget reading. 1 year, 1 year. We are moving for, is that the case? 1 year, 1 year.
1 year.
1 year. 1 year.
We are moving forward.
Yes.
I mean, Ghanaians were unable to see through
this man. He was just quoting Bible. Then he moved into Genesis.
No, but it was actually a message.
Yes.
Let's recount the names given to the budget.
Asempa budget.
Good.
Juma budget. To Impuntuo budget. To Ahoto budget. To Onye. And he crowned it with Nkabum budget.
Yes.
1 year. I didn't say 1 year. You even want to put words in. I know the difference between 1 year.
No, 1 year is my mother. 1 year.
1 year.
No, not year.
No,
but on a more serious note, maybe the nomenclature given to the budget,
yes,
perhaps was in satisfaction of the things that they wanted.
Absolutely.
You know, so for instance, you said Asempa.
That was the first budget.
That means that it was good news for the family.
For the family.
Then they moved to
Ejuma.
So yeah, she said Ejuma. I said fraud.
Yeah.
No, just don't for the boys. No, relax.
Okay.
When a fraud man tells you, yeah, she said Ejuma no. Yeah, she said Ejuma no. So are you following me?
I'm following you.
She said Ejuma no.
Yes.
And then we moved to
Impuntuo
Adjumani improve
their lives.
Improve their lives. And then the last,
they were so then from there, we are moving forward.
This is a
one year.
I don't know. Not is a woman by Trasa Bene. Some almost no before they went to. It's Ahoto. It's Ahoto. We move forward. And then last one was in Cabo Mubi. When DC comes, you will that is why now I understand that. That is why this coming Wednesday, all viewers must listen that we don't just say things and leave it to go. Yeah.
Ora must work.
Yeah.
We would make a statement on the day that the NDC itself claims to be what? The accountability day.
Yeah.
We will make a statement, a huge one as such, cautioning this administration and also telling them why we are not happy and what they must do to let democracy work in this country. We are going to make a statement by 10 a.m. on Wednesday.
All platforms, yeah.
And Kwame, you will be there?
Absolutely.
And we are calling on all the Saudi that believe that accountability must work to be with us. We will announce the venue subsequently before Wednesday so that they know that we are not kidding in this country. That this country must develop, Kwame. Ken Ofori-Atta cannot be in America and be writing to the people of this country, post letters to the people of Toronto. He is doing Ken's letters to the people of Ghana.
Can't he be extradited?
He can.
So what is OSP?
You see, they are playing with that. By the time you realize you will not be a Ghanaian anymore, you'll be holding a foreign passport. Then you cannot. He's not a citizen of your country. And that is where we are going to. And that is not fair to the people of this country. Accountability must be the hallmark of every political
every country, yeah.
See the mess that he caused for this country. We have the PDS, we have the ambulance, we have the SML, we have the National Cathedral. He quoted all biblical quotations. Warren White, that's why when I saw you in white, I started seeing you in a different light. You want to be like Ken Ofori-Atta, but I realized you were going to court anyway. I stopped wearing white because of that man. When you wear white and then you shave your hair down like that, then I begin to suspect you. When you add the Bible quotation, I said this guy wants to swindle us.
So look, Dr. Sylvie said I should tell you,
Doctor,
that you should be careful with the gun. Tell him to let.
Don't mind, PD.
I should tell you to allow him take his money in peace. He doesn't want to.
It's PD that is trying to put 1 year here. You want to say what?
It is not 1 year. It's 1 year.
I never say 1 year. I know the difference between
1 year. 1 year is even worse. 1 year.
1 year. So listen to what PD is saying. That is why. Long time.
No, he is even better. Me, I don't speak to him.
You are not an Ashanti man. You say we.
Yeah, I'm an Ashanti man.
We don't.
Yeah, I'm an Ashanti man.
That's your problem.
But I am speaking the guy only that there always confuses me.
Why does it confuse you?
Yeah, and yeah, but 1 year. At the end, there's 1 year. So take what PD is saying as what I want to say, and not the first one you try to put into my mouth. And then, so that is what it is.
Yeah,
Kwame, we cannot. The future.
But let's look at the justification for the invitation extended to Ken Ofori-Atta by the OSP. There are a number of things which were identified as part of the reasons why the OSP had invited Ken Ofori-Atta. Now, an invitation is not an admission of the commission of a crime.
Yes.
An invitation is to come and explain, whether or not the allegations which have been leveled against you are grounded in facts and are grounded in law, right?
Yes.
Now, so it is just a mere invitation, right? So why is he running?
Kwame.
Why is he running?
When you are invited by the police, let me tell you, anybody that goes to court and tells you that he or she didn't know he was going to be in prison will be lying to you. You know the sins that you have committed. So he knows that there will be certain questions you will not be able to answer. Either that you would have dealt with it long ago.
Okay.
Let
me come to Prince. Prince, and I'll come to you again on this matter, because this matter is firmly grounded in the oral must work demonstration, which is going to happen on Wednesday. So, President, come to you. I mean, one would say that they are disappointed a little bit in the NDC for even allowing Ken Ofori-Atta to fly out of this country. Because when you took over, he was still in the country. And he, by the letters that he wrote to OSP, admitted that during those times, he was still here. What prevented you from taking his passport, especially when you knew that he was a subject matter of an investigation, a possible investigation? Why did you not do that? Number two, there is this impression, albeit a little confusing because it's not been tested really, that there is this attempt by the OSP to wishy-washy the issue of Ken Ofori-Atta. You see, or wishy-wash the issue of Ken Ofori-Atta. So they will start the process, they will not be able to end it. Every allegation which has been leveled against him would have been brought to the fore. He would have answers to them. OSP will not be able to prosecute the matter. So in the event that any other state institution takes up the matter and wants to prosecute, he would have had his defenses ready to those allegations. Do you subscribe to that assertion?
Well, let me start from a premise that I think is faulty.
Okay.
NDC has nothing to do with Ken or anybody in this matter. You're talking about the government of Ghana.
Yes.
It's not the NDC.
No, I agree with you.
The NDC is a political party.
It's a political party,
Yeah,
but the government is an offshoot of the political party.
It is not. No, hold on. John Dramani Mahama is the president.
But John Dramani Mahama has not appointed anybody from Movement for Change. He has not appointed anybody from PSC. He has not appointed anybody from MPP. He has not appointed anybody from PMP. You understand? So PPP, nobody has been appointed. It is the people from NDC who have been appointed.
Relax.
What are you talking about?
Relax.
Very relaxed.
You are ready for court. That's why I'm trying to put things right before we go. The premise must be right. Otherwise, everything else would fall. Now, NDC did not form the government per se. NDC won an election, and then the president of the Republic of Ghana was sworn in, John Dramani Mahama, alone with his vice president. He put together a mini team, okay, which included the chief of staff, the deputies, and in fact, some of the deputies were not even appointed. It's a skeleton. And then subsequently nominated his ministers. His ministers went through vetting and then became ministers. By a certain time, there was no government in place. Now, you were asking a question, why did, and I want to now put it right, why did the government of Ghana not prevent Ken Ofori-Atta from leaving the country?
Why did the NDC government?
Fine, you may want to now call it the NDC-led government. That's fine.
The NDC-led government.
At a certain point in time, the NDC-led government was not in place. It was President Mahama. Unless you wanted President Mahama Soboto to be stopping people at the airport or to be giving express statements that the following are prevented from leaving the country.
Some people were prevented from smuggling gold out of this country even before the president was sworn in. What are you talking about?
Don't worry. I'm saying that there was a skeleton team in place.
Yes.
Now, ministries, departments, and agencies are structured arms of government, the executive branch.
Yes.
And they don't take instructions from just anybody. All right? Now, so let us not go too hard on the government for now. As far as Ken Ofori-Atta is leaving the country or not is concerned, there are many other people who have left the country. In fact, even right now, there are people who have went to Brussels with the former president and so on. There are people who use these opportunities to run away. People who will flee. June 4th is coming. Accountability is coming. I'm happy you guys want oral to work. I will join you.
Fantastic.
We should all join you in ensuring that probity and accountability is had. That, for me, is the most important thing. Number two, that oral works. In fact, the people of Ghana voted overwhelmingly for John Dramani Mahama, not necessarily the NDC, but for oral to work. Because they, the people of Ghana, cannot pay their taxes for people to steal. Me, my land, is not meant for Ken Ofori-Atta and others to steal. And so I would have voted for NDC, regardless of whether I was NDC or not, because I believed in the promises that President Mahama made, that he was going to set up a presidential commission of inquiry into the lands, the stolen lands and so on. I had motivation. So did many other people have motivation in the promises that John Dramani Mahama and the NDC made. Now, when the party won the election, and the government was formed. It is now the responsibility of the leader of the government, who happens to be the leader of the party, to make it happen. And I think that we should hold NDC's feet to the fire. We should hold the president and the government's team feet to the fire. But as Ghanaians, we must be supportive. And I think the media has a very big and crucial role to play. The NPP had a strategy when they lost the election. Even Bawumia's early announcement of his concession was because of the overwhelming margins. If they thought they could steal, they would have stolen. In fact, they tried to steal some seats. They succeeded in stealing some seats thanks to the courts of Ghana, led at the time by Gertrude Tokenu. The EC, led by Jean Mensah, allowed them to steal some seats. Come on. Why should Abu Jinapor be in parliament? Abu Jinapor Damongo, they burned the whole thing down. What votes were counted? How was he declared? He was appointed by the EC. He's still in parliament. He should be out of there. That is accountability. Suvum Protozwa, that Galamsey MP, why should he be in parliament? Several of them must go. And then we would have seen that Oral is working in the Chamber of Parliament. And I'm happy the Speaker of Parliament has said that he will not shield any MP, whether NDC or MPP, who is involved in criminality or is involved in Galamsey. We must support Parliament to work. That is Oral working. Now, you see, the MPP had a strategy. Some of the MPs, they know, Afenimaki, for example, the ECG containers. When it was at Ghana Water, that's when the man too was using that wireless thing to spirit our money, the Edubai. He has many questions to answer everywhere. Afenimaki, contracts under MPP, plenty. There are several of their MPs who would go to jail if accountability works. And so their strategy is to seek immunity under Parliament. And I'm happy the Speaker has made that statement that he will not shield anybody. Number two is that they had another strategy, just like they were trying to do with backfired. They tried to mass up. They got only 20 people. You think Ghanaians are fools? Even MPP people are not fools. Then when they realized they couldn't get the numbers, then they marched there. Nobody followed them. If you look at the TV screens, it was just media people with cameras, and a few of them. Then now they are fighting over who will be their next flag bearer. That's why to me is still in jail. When I say in jail, quote unquote, at the Yoko. And because Bawumia wants to be flag bearer, he wants to be seen as the one who built Untumi. Because the Ashanti stronghold has the most votes when it comes to their primaries. Then enter, what's his name? Brian Achampo. After seeing that Ken, what's his name? Kennedy Ejapon was in the forefront of trying to raise the money. His benchman, who has sneaked to become the lawyer for Untumi, sidelines Ken's offer, says Ken's offer is incompetent, and goes for Brian Achampon's offer. So that even the bill issue is now political football for their next flag bearership election. Someone like, what's his name? Nana B. The National Service Ghost name, listen, scandal. He knows he's going to jail. So he's all over the place. What did he say before he ended up there? What did he say? Muntumi say in Ghana? Today, what? I am Anyway, so there are so many cases that will have to go to court. But you see, again, and that one I disagree with the fact that even though we all know that the OSP is pussyfooting on this, he's a very good friend of Gabi. He was actually proposed by Gabi and was put in place by the mother serpent of corruption, Nana Akufo-Addo. The former OSP said before he resigned that Akufo-Addo was the mother serpent of corruption. In fact, we all know that he's actually a father of crime. All right? So if the baby serpents, like Untumi and others, go and mine in forest reserves, destroy our water bodies and all that, and he's asked the question, and at that forum he says, as we speak, or as he speaks, or as he whatever, Untumi hadn't done what evidence was before him from his own lands ministry, his own minerals commission. I mean, what do you expect? But there again, I can tell you, Untumi is facing multiple charges. And multiple agencies have responsibilities to charge him or to investigate him, to interrogate him, to prosecute him. So let's nobody kid themselves that Ken Ofori-Atta can flee forever because OSP may be aiding him. And most people believe that the OSP is actually aiding it's just a charade. That's what most people believe.
Yeah.
He will be, he should be there. The Yoko will go after him. Raymond will not allow this Kenofriata to misbehave. You think Kojochum Batfu at Financial Intelligence Center is sleeping? He will not allow Kenofriata to run away. And national security, everybody, look, the state, the powers of states are so enormous. And when they come after you,
thank you very much.
No, wait. Please, just. You see, if you listen to the MPP, their strategy again, if you come to the trading of lies and trying to divert attention and all that, in Team Fojo, he did that, diverted attention. He was given assistance by the president. All the state investigative agencies were put at his disposal. He refused. And then when he was invited, then the thieves go and shield him. Afenyo leading the gang of thieves go to shield him. And then try to prevent and then try to claim parliamentary immunity. And that's why I dug my heart to the speaker, that none of this will happen under his watch. Then you come again, one last one, okay? Charlie, boss, this country, citizens arrest is legal. It's exactly constitutional, am I lying? It is legal, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
If, for any reason, the state refuses or fails to prosecute, there's a last leg, that's the people. Accountability is for the people. And if the people decide to go and arrest you, you will beg and plead that the police comes for you. Have you seen people being lynched before? I'm not advising anyone to be lynched though. But when you leave things to the people to do, it's not all of them who understand the law. In the process, they may touch you. Some may touch you harder than others. Some may touch you with objects. And then the anger may not lead to you surviving. So let the MPP know that they are better off with the police and security agencies who have been trained to do these things within the framework of the law. That they do not touch anybody. They should just allow them the system to work. But if they fail and they are subjected to citizens' arrest, and in the process anything happens, let those CSOs come and tell us what we don't want to hear. Because probity and accountability is coming. 4th June is coming. Oral must work. Thank you.
Dr. Val, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
I mean, high school too.
Yes,
you know, I see Solo and Prince.
Yes.
You know, Prince and Solo, firebrands.
Yes.
But this issue of Kenofriata, it's a very worrying spectacle. Now, I say this for a number of reasons. One, that if we are unable to secure, if there's enough evidence, some convictions, of persons who have blatantly violated and raped the states of its resources, right? Then we are giving oxygen to others to misbehave. And to think that, you can come and do as you please, and if you exit because you have friends in government, you can, get away with it. So that is my worry. But the most important aspect of my worry that I want to bring to the fore is in respect of how we are treating generations yet unborn, right? And how we are teaching the good people of this country the kind of lessons that we are teaching them, or the kind of lessons that they must learn from some of these things which are happening. Because if, for instance, it is known to the Ghanaian that, but so the politician, when he commits an offense, he can get away with it. But when an ordinary citizen is hungry and they go to someone's farm to maybe pluck some tuber of yam or some cassava or some plantain, or having some plantain and things like that, those people can be jailed for 15, 20, 35 years. But the politician who has milked the state so dry can actually get away with it and be telling the state teaching the state what to do in respect of this matter, and ordering the state about, telling the state, I'm in the states, let's do virtual. It's a serious.
I've seen a lot of messages about Wuntumi's thing that the CSOs who are against Galamsey are silent. Ken Ashby and others are silent. The Wuntumi is not being charged only for fraud, money laundering, and international crimes. He's being charged for the destruction of forest reserves, water bodies, and so on. Things that we're asking for a state of emergency.
Can I be honest,
and now
with you? Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
I don't care about the CSOs, to be honest. Provided the law works. I do not. Why? They are saying, so who are they?
But if it's already in the custody of Yoko, what should the CSOs do again?
No, I get it.
The NPP are in defense of somebody who...
So the CSOs must be seen to. And I said that, you see, let me tell you, the hypocrisy in this country must stop. The CSOs are not the laws of this country. And I said, at best, they can, yes, of course, we have the right to do whatever you may. So, but we're giving them too much prominence, and that's why they always take advantage of us.
Look at the nurses and...
But that's the point I'm making.
They are going on strike.
That's the point I'm making.
But they were not willing to go on strike when it came to the law. You see, the hypocrisy is...
Look, that's what I'm saying. But you also give them prominence. Political parties give these people prominence.
It's the same argument I'm advancing.
Please proceed.
How if Yoko, the man is in the custody of Yoko, is in the hands of the law. So why do you want the CSOs to go and then demonstrate?
No, not demonstrate.
But what do you want them to do?
They must be heard. They have been talking until the man was arrested, and then they are silent. And then people have come to their defense. People who made the laws for those mining in the forest reserves to become, you see, they are on President Mohammed's neck as though he made that law. And saying that you must revoke, you must repeat, as though he made the law. They were on his neck. The man who, then he said they should catch the man. The man has been caught. You won't even say you've caught the man. And the people who are defending him, they are not saying, they are not condemning them.
KOKU is saying that you give them too much credit. Okay.
Nurses are on strike. People will die.
No, what I'm saying,
what
I'm saying, you don't get it. Those ones are associations.
Yes.
Okay,
no,
because those ones you can't do away with. It's like TUC.
Yeah. Do you know the woman heading it? What? The husband is the MPP constituency chairman for English chairman for. Okay, so the same way the Ghana Bar Association boss, the husband was Joe Gatti, and we're not talking whose husband. Hold on. I don't know what is going on in this country.
Hold on. I get your point.
And the Rights Association is not getting out of the.
Look, the point I am trying to make is that we are governed by laws.
Yes.
The law is the law.
Yeah.
The law
is the law.
must work.
Yeah.
So if the law is working and some people, it is natural that the NPP will support their own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
They are opposing to what the law is doing.
Yeah.
You don't expect the CSO to come and tell NPP to support them. God, they won't stop it.
Yeah. Okay.
What will even happen is that they will think that NDC has been going to pay them, and that is why they are in support of what they say. Hold on. Oh, I'm telling you.
I think I like the way you are going, and I think we shouldn't politicize issues so much. And of course. I was not even able to say good morning to your viewers. So
praise Matthew the Father.
Good morning to our cherished viewers. And then good morning to our two politically charged panel members. Yeah. So I think I'm grateful for their invitation, even though I've tried to give you excuses because I was into some things that prevented me from coming. Okay, so glad to be back.
Yeah, thank you very much for the honor.
I know with the sort of the tangent of the discussion, maybe I'm the wrong person here, but I would try and introduce some aspects to enrich the discussion. Okay, so I would start by saying that what you've been discussing so far, boils down to our culture, when our attitude to laws, and then our collectivist culture. So with our collectivist culture, if anything happens to your kin member or your in-group member, whether the person is guilty or not, you try and troop and support the person without even considering what the person has done. And with this, your family member, we've now come to your party member. We did not do anything when after independence, we didn't do anything to more or less align our culture, some of their cultural values that impede development
with the modern state. So up till now, and the discussions you've been having here, if NPP was in power, I wouldn't be surprised that the NDC members would have trooped to Yoko.
Oh, yes.
So this is a turnover. Every time these things will happen, we need to address our cultural issue of the collectivism and also distrust for our laws and institutions. So as we are just saying, the person is in the hands of Yoko. Why are we now trying to ask the CSOs to go and participate in the whole issue? Because we have to trust that he's in the hands of the law. The laws will work. So we don't need any interference now that the person is in. Let the laws work, and then we would, if we think that the laws didn't work, then we can now talk about the fact that the CSOs did not contribute. And so the main issue we have to deal with is that the fundamentals of our cultural values, which do not work with the democracy we are practicing, would have to be dealt with. Most of the visionary leaders of countries like Singapore and others, those were the issues they dealt with after independence. We still haven't done it. And if at the moment, why should somebody who has been invited by the OSP,
Yes.
It's still being an issue whether the person is being supported by a party member or not? This shouldn't have happened now. We know that the law is the law. You've done something and you've been invited by the law. Let the law work.
You know,
should
we have come from a history where very prominent people as well were hauled before the courts and jailed.
Yes.
You know, some deliberately jailed. Chatuchi Kata is an example that comes to mind.
Yeah.
And do you want to tell me that Ken Ofori-Atta is a better human being than Chatuchi Kata, who faced the laws of this country, Abu Gapele, you know, Victor Selome and all those people? They faced the law of this country. And we are treating this with
and then what I was going to add was that how come the OSP suddenly is pursuing Ken Ofori-Atta? All this time that these issues were there during the time that his government was in power, where was the OSP? And suddenly, I would have said, or maybe it can be said that just because he wants to maintain his position, that is why he's after OSP now. Because all these years, all these years, the OSP could have done something, and they could have invited him. I'm sure that there were some petitions at Trash and even the OSP. What happened? And suddenly he's been invited and he's not appearing. So the matter is related to our fundamental cultural values, which we do not want to do away with. At the moment, for example, if things turn around and a member of NDC is at Yoko, the same will happen.
Not the same.
Why the what?
Not the same.
No, why not the same? We just saw.
NDC,
we just saw some.
NDC is not.
We just saw this before you came to power with the court. The court matters with the Japa and others. We saw
if the Attorney General is coaching Japa to go and lie,
I think that should not be supported. I think it's important for Doc to land, and then we can. You can interject. Let him. Because sometimes you see when you interject, you may not be able to get the input. So let him talk, please.
So what I'm saying is that
it is not a doubt that it is not a doubt that
it's a 10-table thing
that's
that we need to deal with.
Well,
You see,
I think it's wrong.
it's a turntable thing that we need to do. We at the moment we cannot say
because of that. He left the FPP because FPP
we cannot say that what is happening, even though we have the political angle, which has also confused the situation. So we have the culture now. Politics has also worsened our situation, and when I entered and you were politically charged, I said, "Oh no, this is when we introduce politics into our situation, we lose the solution, and so we need to, as a people, we need to look at our cultural values that do not align with the democracy we are practicing, and also we have politics. Political parties are very important for democracy, but we shouldn't stretch it so much that it consumes our rationality.
Okay, look, listen. If you go into the and I'm staying on here because of what we intend to do on Wednesday, the oral must work demo.
It's not a demonstration.
It's not a demonstration. Maybe, yeah. No, it's not a demonstration. Yeah, no, it's not a demonstration.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just there will be a statement. Oral must work statement that that will be, you know. So, but again, if you look at the background to, for instance, standoff, you know, and before that, you would notice that these are not just small cases. These are very big cases.
Yes.
That goes to the heart of our financial independence. Because if we're able to retrieve most of these money, a lot of these monies, I mean, because I'm not even for incarceration, really. I mean, if we can retrieve some of the monies and use it to better the lives of people, why not?
Yeah.
And so, remind me, we need to embark on this project of expanding development to the rural communities, to them, because it appears that everything is centered within the central, the urban and peri-urban areas, to the detriment of the people who live in the communities, and they're also Ghanaians.
You mentioned some names earlier on, and one of them was quite tricky. But besides that, the 3-town thing, one is what you mentioned, and then there's a second and a third which you failed to mention.
Okay. So if you do you want to mention them?
No. I don't know them. It's the viewers out there.
In your village.
That was the one he mentioned. Then there was.
No, but it was. I think it was made for Parliament. The member of Parliament.
Yes. Viewers were sending me the names and say, I didn't want to believe it.
It's the names of towns. If they have issues, they go there and change the names.
Yes.
It's not exactly.
So the cases include scrutiny over petroleum and minerals revenue assurance contracts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
The controversial termination of an agreement involving the Electricity Company of Ghana and Beijing Chao Cheng Technology. Yeah. And financial irregularities linked to the National Cathedral. I mean, look, this is serious. And some payments were even made. You remember the ambulance matter?
Yes.
The spare parts.
The ambulance spare parts. Yes. Approval was given before he exited. He made payments. To the daughter of Oguwadua.
So hence my question. Where was the OSP when that was even NDC made that revelation before the elections? Where was the OSP? You
see, but I don't want us to go back into the days where state institutions were gagged from working. And you see, we may say that, but who can gag? But the fact is, the police were unable to work effectively. OSP unable to work effectively, our judiciary compromised. So you cannot say. So that is why I am happy when Mahama says he wants to reset the country, because you know that we have derailed.
Kwame,
now,
my argument.
hold on. There's a quote by Frederick Bastiat. Frederick Bastiat, and Frederick Bastiat says that where plunder becomes the way of life of a particular group of people, they create a legal system that supports it, and a moral code that endorses it. So if you look at our judiciary, for instance, and how the judiciary has been conducting itself, it leads you to but one irrefusable or irrefutable, irrebuttable conclusion that they were compromised.
No,
I'll give you a very good example. I'll give you a very good example.
But then it's not only the judiciary. All the institutions,
I'm just trying to make
all the Ghanaian institutions are compromised by the cultural values and politics.
Yeah, but have you
all
forgotten
the Ghanaian
that even
institutions,
the religious,
not only the judiciary,
religious sect, were quiet.
But it's also compromised.
Yes. No, but you see,
when the religious leaders
on the judiciary
are
and
compromised.
and the quotes that you gave, I can tell you that at the very top, not just in the middle, not on the judges level alone, but at the very top, chief justices have been compromised, and I have clear examples. On our land issues, for example, travesty of justice, the Nick Bobitetichuru versus Attorney General, in which the constitution was turned over on its head, Article 25 and 6, on the return of lands that the state has acquired that were supposed to be returned. Because the chief justices themselves have been given a land. So he paid 7,000 Ghana cedis for Cantonese land. How can you ask such a person to be a chief justice? Georgina Wu, International Students Hostel. To get it attached here and others. So that moral code was there. Herself, her clique, and all. Look, today I'm writing one Article 146 for another judge on the same issues. Very important.
Myself, so corrupt. I've never seen. Oh, this
the General Legal Council must get to work. People must be removed.
No, so that is why I'm saying that it is in view of all of these matters that I believe that this reset agenda is good. So that we can reset our judiciary.
Yes.
And let me tell you, sometimes people say, oh, but Mahama is bringing... Look, who doesn't know Justice Jamepe?
He's a very...
And the quality of his brain.
Jamepe
who doesn't know Sir Dennis?
Sir Dennis.
He taught me. He taught me at Makola. He taught many other... He's a sick.
And the documents are so sound. They are going to court a lot. So sound.
No, but Sir Dennis actually teaches some of the judges how to write their decisions. Do you understand what I'm saying? So how can anybody say that because they are being appointed by John Dramani Mahama, they are undeserving of it?
No, but even the chief justice,
do you understand what I'm saying?
Colleagues on the bench are undeserving of being on a panel to be sitting on their case.
I'm not talking about the chief justice.
I'm just giving you an example.
You like propaganda too.
I'm talking about
There is one thing that we need to clear on this table. Look, with all due respect, whatever we are doing this morning is politics.
Yes.
What you want to say or you mean to say is partisan.
Yes.
Every discussion going on.
But politics is not bad. Partisanship is bad.
That is it. So,
and if it's so polarized as it is now,
it's
so polarized as it is now.
It depends on how you are going about yours and how we are going about it. It doesn't mean that we are speaking differently. You are doing politics, we are doing politics, and everyone is doing politics. But I am not doing partisan politics. In any case, I belong to an independent movement that is yet to be metamorphosed into a political party. But the interest of the state must be paramount. Of course. And that's what we're doing here.
Of course. And that is where...
On that basis, let me start with Doc on this one briefly, because I know that this is quite new to you.
Yes.
Myself, Solo, Prince Derek J sat on this show and said we needed oral to work. Operation Recover All to work. We made that statement by reason of the multiplicity of cases that MPP appointees, are believed to have been involved in. And it is quite clear that it is not just mere allegations. These are allegations, they are just allegations and allegations of fact that persons have been involved in some corruption or corruption-related matters. Because even though no competent court of jurisdiction has made the pronouncement, there are evidence abound to support the allegations the allegations that have been made. One of such has got to do with the National Service Scheme. All right. And it is clear from the facts, from the data gathered, that these persons milked the state dry. Now, we have noticed that even though government is sort of working towards achieving the end game, which is making sure that oral works, we are of the firm conviction that yes, government is committed to it, but government is also relaxing in some respects in addressing or dealing decisively with this. And I know that the legal processes take time, right? And I know that they may be working on them. But the oral must work means that we must be updated frequently. There must be pressure. You know, we need to see that things are being done. We can appreciate some of the arrests which have been made, but those arrests may not necessarily even lead us to what we need, which is the recovery of the loot. That because oral is recovering the loot. We are not saying incarcerating persons who have, who have stolen from the state. We want to recover the loot. So let me start with you. Give me the background.
Okay, thank you, Kwame. I think the oral, we all subscribe to that, and we are all waiting for the fruit of oral. But then you, in your statement, I will say you erred by saying that what MPP members have engaged in. You should have said what the public officials. The oral should not be restricted to party members. Anybody who has engaged in the looting. Some public officials are not party members, but they have also engaged in the same looting. So the oral should recover all loot. We shouldn't consider the membership. That is where I was coming from. That we should take that party membership or family kinship out of our dealings. And once we do that, the laws will work. But if we just look at whether the person is my family member or party member, we won't get anywhere. So with the oral, I think it's a good thing that the government is pursuing. And if the government is successful, we will all be happy in this country. It will be a deterrent for subsequent governments that once you engage in such practices, you will be caught, and then the loot will be recovered, and you will end up in prison as well. So it's a good thing. And then I would say that the government or the president respects the rule of law. And the current Attorney General, he is an acquaintance. I had spent some time at Legon, and we were neighbors. I know him very well. We used to call him senior advocate. He also needs to ensure that the cases are adequately prepared before pursuing the people in court. So you don't want to go and lose the case.
There are different aspects of it. Now, what gave birth to oral? That's a fundamental question that we all want. And so I'm coming to you on this one. What gave birth to oral? Why did we decide to embark on what we call oral? Right? That's the first question. Now, what was the mandate of oral? What was the mandate of oral? Now, who or which people formed oral? I mean, as in the people who were spearheading oral. And whether or not, by reason of the appointment of those people, oral has become redundant to that year. Because let me leave it for Solo to respond to them. The purpose for which oral was formed, in fact, why oral was formed, the mandate of oral, the people who were part of it, the appointment of those people, and by reason of that, whether it has been redundant, which is why there's the need for us to constantly remind government of its promise to the good people of Ghana to recover all the loot. Solo.
Kwame, it cannot be lost on every Ghanaian that prior to election 2024, we had, as a country, had identified a lot of rot in the system. I keep saying that anybody who is occupying a position, be it ministerial level or agency level, who up till now has not been able to identify any rot with the previous administration, is capable of becoming a corrupt, is either a corrupt person or capable of becoming a corrupt person. And Kwame, what is preventing this aura from working to perfection is that, as a matter of fact, you have people within the MPP let me tell you, this government hasn't done much investigations in terms of those that involve themselves in corruption. Rather, it is the New Patriotic Party elders, some senior members who have been so benevolent in giving information to this administration that go after our members. They are so corrupt, they are thieves, they are criminals, they are nation wreckers. Arrest them for us so that we will be free. These are coming from elders of the NPP, insiders. Now guess what, Kwame? Instead of this administration to take action, you have leading members of the National Democratic Congress who are rather begging people in authority that please do not prosecute NPP members. Guys, this is why it hurts, Kwame. This is why you cannot think far. Kwame, I can't. When you begin to speak to such matters, you become emotional. That you have the opposition members of party elders and they have the documents, not that hearsay, they have hardcore evidence. Let me tell you, the arrest of Wontumi, the information was given to this administration by senior members of the NPP.
Hey, that's risky.
Senior members of the NPP.
No, let me.
I am giving you information, there is nothing to hide. I'm telling you. For them, it was just unconscionable that a party that was formed in 1992, people sweated, they sacrificed their blood. In 1996, I was in Bekwai, I saw a truckload of a truck loading sand run through supporters of the NPP. Some died. All that they wanted was to see this party come to power and develop this country. Now they shepherd this party to power. Then you have young ones who come to it not knowing the genesis of this party, only come to plunder state resources. And they use these resources acquired to bully others in the party so that the others say, look, these people do not deserve to live. They must rather be behind bars for causing pain to the people of this country. They are so benevolent. They go and give information to people in authority, and you have senior members of the NDC fighting that, please, this is our man, don't touch him, this is our woman. Don't. That is why the prosecution, as you see it, is grinding slowly. It's not for any strategy or whatever. It is that people are pleading on behalf of them.
It's true.
And we cannot, Kwame, we cannot sit down. Because you see, the moment we do that, and that is why you can have the likes of Titus Grover bold enough come and tell us that you people were engaged in also double salaries. You know we didn't prosecute you. Why are you prosecuting? And one too many you hear Fenyo, anytime you get the opportunity, remember tomorrow, such people, they don't deserve to be part of our governance structure. Someone is in Binduri, someone is in my village Amponya because of poor road nature. Someone is in Accra here. There are certain places in Accra, it's more village than my village.
Oh.
There are now Sotum area. Sometimes you enter a place and you ask yourself, why are people living here? And you have people that have been given contract to construct roads, good roads. That you have evidence they have not done it, they have taken state money, and they are being protected because selfish interest. When they were in power, they were chopping the money with the people on the other side, and so they must beg for them. And that is why on Wednesday we will make that statement to the president. Mr. President, you have a time with destiny. Whether or not your administration will be remembered is how well you deal with the issues of ORA. And posterity will always judge you right. If you fought for this, you have to fight for it. Because that is the only way people that are going into the public space. It's not everyone that is qualified to be in the public space. I'm telling you, I see a lot of people in the political space, they have no business being in the political space. The ideology alone in going into it, now everyone is joining Tescon Tain. And what they know is that when I come out
and forming
CSOs. and all that they want is to build that East Legon, build that Chado. They use the power to go and take lands belonging to PD. And PD has to fight. Why? You think when he enriches himself, he doesn't like it?
Build at Ramsar site.
And when you go there to go and demolish, you have people that are crying, but now all those places should have been cleared. You understand? So, Kwame, it is for us to push. Power, according to our constitution, belongs, the sovereignty of this country resides with the people. And that is why we are going to channel our energy in conscientizing the people of this country to join the ORAMAS work in your homes, in your workplaces. If your leaders are not identifying those that have stolen from the state, they are also corrupt. every sector of this economy was ripped off. So why are we not hearing from all these sectors?
Yeah.
Why are we not hearing from them?
Yeah.
And that statement will be made on Wednesday.
Ora must work, you know, and again, I tend to sort of agree with Doc.
Yes.
To the extent that it must cut across all facets. So, because for instance, right now, prices of goods and services have come down, fuel is coming down, dollar, the city is appreciating, but the drivers have, and we've asked them to reduce it by 50%.
And they are bold enough.
They've not done it.
They are bold enough.
Manufacturers.
Yes. So again, the Ora must work must be like that.
Across
it must be an institution.
You have mentioned the right.
It must be like Dodge.
Dodge. And that is why I have a problem. We have a similar Dodge in this country, the Minister for Public Sector. That is what she is supposed to do.
Oh, okay.
Ever since she was appointed, it's supposed to be a woman. What is her contribution, my friend? You know you cannot be giving you position and you sit down. Public sector reforms is what Dodge, Elon Musk was doing. But you cannot just take anybody anyhow.
No, I want to know. Who is she? Do you know her? What's her name?
I have even forgotten.
Oh, I'm sorry. No disrespect, but...
Yeah, that's
Google.
That's Google for us. You see that you are not even...
No, I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know who she is.
You haven't heard from her.
No,
There's no policy initiative from her.
No, I don't know.
You understand? And this is a crucial aspect. NPP brought someone, what's the name? Kusi Boafu. Also, that man talk only, no action. He will give you all the letters from Hebron to Jeremiah to everywhere. When he was given the opportunity, he couldn't do FOCO because he had not what it takes. You know, public sector reform, you need people with the IT, with the accounting background, sharp guys to be able to read the system, clean the system proper. And we just put anybody anyhow. And that's why we can't even remember. See what Elon Musk did. He has been able to even identify that the names found is not only
you see.
You see?
I can't vary.
I have never heard of her before. No. I'm not. Hey, Madam Lydia.
Public sector.
Lydia.
You see?
What's the portfolio?
Yes. Public sector reform.
What reforms have you seen?
Oh.
There is no initiative.
I don't know her.
Initiative.
I don't know her.
But she has taken the position. And these are what we are talking about, saying that Ora must work and has to work. He has to work across all board.
Yeah.
You see, I don't want to...
Interject, please.
You see, my argument always on patronage and clientelism. It's the same argument with this collective. The person might just be rewarded, and it's not based on
merit.
Merit, whether the person is competent.
I will interject.
Whether the person is competent. Let me land. You see,
he's making a very valid point.
You see, if you have an important objective of reforming the public sector, you need the best person. You need the best person for the job. It's not whoever supported you or whoever financed you. We should go and look out for the meritocracy is the rule.
Please check the back of the lady and you realize that what you're making is invalid.
No. I'm not saying that is what has happened. But if you went for the best person, you would have heard of the person.
No, I don't know.
So you would have heard of the person. But
certainly. No one can speak for you.
You have heard of our Black One. You have heard of St. George. You have heard of
because they were very partisan. Because they were very partisan.
Was not very partisan.
You see,
the trade minister and agribusiness.
Charlie, these are MPs that you know because they were in the political space and have been out there. This person, please Google her background. No, please hold on.
I know the director general of Ghana himself.
I'm saying to you, check her background.
Meritocracy. No, it's based on the performance. Let me tell you something.
Respectfully.
If you put somebody,
you see, Prince is even making an argument which is flawed.
Yes.
The reason being that you are saying that Sam George and the rest are MPs and they are loud and they are partisan. They are partisan. You use partisan. Please. Okay. You didn't say that. You said partisan. Okay, that is why they are known. However, the CEO of National Health Insurance Authority, Dr. Bampo, he doesn't go to. But I know, Director General of Ghana Health Service, Professor Kaba, he doesn't go on TV, but I know he's working.
If Prince will let me land, you came with a social contract of 120 days, and the president was supposed to deliver in that 120 days. So anybody who has been entrusted with responsibility should rock the boat within that time and come out with some successes for the president. So if that important position of public sector reform, if you haven't heard of her, then you are right to conclude.
I've even seen her background.
Let me see. What's her background?
She's a nurse. In fact, she took over from.
She's a what?
A nurse by profession.
A nurse.
Yes.
Okay.
She and then has also done LLB, and then she took over from the husband who was an MP in Timpani area. I think she's still a member of parliament. Yes, and so, but that is not the point. We want to see action.
Yes.
But you see, what Prince must understand is that there is that interconnectedness between oral and the other sectors.
Yes.
Now, that interconnectedness is built around, or should be built around, public sector.
Exactly.
And that is where the corruption, yes, you see. And that is why when I was talking about the MPP, Doc quickly drew my attention to the fact that I should mention public and not public sector workers and not MPP.
Yes.
You remember Doc, drew my attention.
Officials,
So conclude on it from let me come to Prince.
Please. I want you to read what she said about the corruption and fraud thing as recently as a few days ago.
So the few days on the 30th of April 2025.
She didn't say it on your set. She said it on City.
This is Madam Lydia Lavisi, the Minister for Public Sector, saying Lydia Lavisi, the Minister of State for Public Sector Reforms, has announced plans to lead a retirement age reform to tackle age fraud in the public sector. This is not.
Hold on. No. Wait. Go back and read it. Go back and read it again.
Say, Lydia Lavisi Akamvariba, the Minister of State for Public Sector Reforms, has announced plans to lead a retirement age reform to tackle age fraud in the public sector. So age fraud. That's the Minister stressed the need for a system. But you see, PD.
No. I say that.
Intentions.
Hold on. Can I make a point, please?
No, you are there 10 years. Time is not up.
This interpretation will not be allowed to stand.
But you see, what Prince fails to acknowledge is that these are the very things MPP did, and we sat here and we questioned.
Absolutely.
Remember, we said that we don't like projections.
No, plans are far advanced.
In the pipeline, we are thinking about. Opposition tell us we have done X, Y, Z.
Yes.
In next, in the coming days, we will do X, Y, Z.
This is not a good plan. Let me tell you. If you say age fraud, now there are other views that as it were the age
be extended to 65.
That's it.
Yeah.
So what is this?
No, my good friend. Do you know?
Okay, now I'm coming to you.
Do you know what's happening at births and death certificates right
No, tell us.
Okay, I have messages that are talking about serious fraud going on there, where people are claiming that the forms are not available, only to sell it and all that. There are also issues of falsification of records and all that.
Yes.
I'm sure you've heard about people whose ages have come into question and all that. That's just a starting point.
Yes.
When you are born until you die, things happen. So you start things from the fundamentals. This is just one of a series of things that she's putting in place to stop.
Okay, tell us the rest.
And come on, you want me to do that in how many minutes?
I'm giving you time. Tell us the rest.
Give me the rest of the time. Are you giving the rest of the time?
No, I won't.
You won't. Why won't you? No, I'm not sure you give me the rest of the time.
So what? Your watch is nice. What brand is that?
It's a black version of your brown one.
They are all maybe in the right sector. They are all wearing
expensive watches. Oh, look. I can dash it to you. Oh, dash it to me. I can dash it to you. Yeah, I can dash it. Dash it to me. Here it is. It's yours.
You have dashed your watch.
Yes. What's your problem? I've got an expensive watch. Shame on you. Shame on you. Your phone watch. Your time never had
on a serious note, the president has given all his ministers and appointees KPIs. Even as recently as last week, when he was on his thank you tour, he indicated to the MMDCs, the newly appointed DCs, those are the freshest of his appointees, that he's causing the release of the first quarter, common fund. And each of these have milestones to be kept. This minister is not oblivious of that. She's also been given her KPIs. They are all supposed to have documentation of their various action plans. The chief of staff is not sleepy. You know Julius Debra. He's told you that the only time that you will call their phones and will not ring, it will not be picked up, is when you're on your way out. Okay? The president started on a very good note of giving people the code within which to operate. If you step out, you are gone. KPIs, and you'll be marked. We just completed the first quarter. We've not gone into the second. We are not done with the second quarter. Wait and see. The president said it's a revolving door. He's gotten you in, but you can get yourself out if you don't meet those KPIs. We have had a consultative process. In fact, that is how this government wants to operate. And that is why I am clear in my mind that this your operation recover all loot must work. If you go and see the chief of staff today, by tomorrow you get approval to have your address on Wednesday. That is a presidency that is working. And I'm saying to you that even when, in fact, from here, let's go to the Flagstaff House and go together and find out from the chief of staff whether we will not get the operation recover all loot thing to work. And once we are at it, let us pass through the woman's office. She's there. The woman is there, Lydia is there, and find out what document she has that is covering this. This is just one to stop the fraud at the inception. Yes. There are other reforms that she has in place for that, and it's documented. Let us collect the document. By next week, Monday, if we come and there's no document, let us all together call for her removal. Yes. That would be fair. But to sit here and conjecture that she hasn't got the background. We are not calling for removal. Now let us. No. Oh, you see, Prince. Prince. You see the contradiction.
We are giving the power to the president. The president appointed and think that the KPIs are being followed. Who am I?
Prince. Who am I? So look, I think that Prince Derek J must understand something. Yes. In the coming weeks, you and I come and sit here, and we'll give a verdict on
all the sectors.
Yes, in fact, the state-owned enterprises and the performance of its CEOs.
Yes. So you must
the ministers that are performing, the ministers that are not performing, the CEOs that are performing, the CEOs that are not performing. Yes. All of those ones will become will come here and expose. It's raining.
I think it is an order. Yeah. The rains decided to fall just at the time.
Which means that it's a very valid, profound.
Yeah. And I support that. You see, when you propose your oral must work, immediately I support that.
Yes.
Good initiative. In fact, I must give this to Alan's team. Yeah. You guys have good proposals and will support it anytime. The president has shown the way. I keep telling them that he's only the leader, and we must all make sure that everybody follows the leader.
Okay, so the president is the president of who? Of what?
Of the people.
The vice president.
No, hold on. The president. Hold on. Oh.
The vice president's press secretary is your wife.
Yes, she's my wife. Yes, I won't deny it. I'm just asking. No, I'm asking. No.
The wife is the wife of who?
No.
The wife is the wife of who?
No. The reason why I'm asking. The reason why I'm Prince. No. The reason why.
You have the ears of the vice president.
No,
you see.
No, not necessarily.
The reason why.
Not necessarily.
It will be. Let me say this and say this. It will interest if you care to know.
Just kidding.
Amma does not ever have discussions with me about what happens in the office. Never. In fact, I myself, I'm not interested.
But why must you be interested?
Exactly. I'm only interested in the development of Ghana. Simplicity.
So
now, number two.
I'll let you off the hook now.
No. Number two. Let me. I'm just making this point because look, Solo, movement for change is for the change of this country. Movement for change is for the development,
for the
transformation.
Yes.
You know, the economic freedom. Now President Mahama started using Ghana will rise. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yes. May I wait?
Oh, you can.
Thank you.
President Mahama is using Ghana will rise again. I don't know if you've noticed. You see, because we have to have, all of us must be in concert.
Of course.
When it comes to the development of this country. I don't have a problem. I went on another platform. People are asking me, the host asked me, so in the event that President Mahama appoints me, this was on GH1, to come and serve in his government, would I accept it? And I said, if it aligns with our ideology,
why not? Of course.
Why not?
The country to develop.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, I agree. Of course. Why not?
And I stated that, look, there are two distinct policies that finds expression in what I believe in.
The core.
The youth and the elderly. These two. Any other thing I don't...
Children.
Oh, they send their children to grow. But maybe they are not the youth. Because, look, right now, the young people of this country, they've gone astray.
No, they don't have any. They don't have any.
Matisa Bibi the red.
Why is it what red?
You know, and you know the justification for the red? No, I shrank when I listened to an interview. And the gentleman said that the red is the reason why we don't go on robbery. I'm telling you. The gentleman said they don't pick guns and go to people's homes to go and rob them because of the red. Because the red calms them. Then we are going to stop them. Then it means that we want armed robbery to go. So this is the youth. But you see, but the problem is that we have people who are so bereft of ideas. I'm not talking about the current youth minister or whatever it is, but people are so bereft of ideas, right? They don't know about youth development, the things that we can do to develop the youth. When I was growing up in Asante, I'm sorry I'm talking too much. In Asante Mampo, for instance, I was part of a football team. Yes. And I keep telling people that if at the time we had a plan... I played football, yeah, I was a footballer. So. Yeah. If at the time, and I'll explain to you all these things that I've done, if we had policy backing them, a lot of my peers would have been professional footballers. They would have gone on to make a living out of football. There's
nothing like that.
There's nothing like that. Even music. What do we know? All they care about is, Shatawale is popular. Okay, so then, because Shatawale will give us for publicity, let's follow Shatawale.
There is no strategic...
You understand? Because Stoneboy is popular, let's follow Stoneboy. Because Black Sheriff is now popular, but you forget that there are a lot of young people.
A lot of talents.
And the entertainment industry alone could potentially take care of the youth of this country. Because you're looking at the creatives, you're looking at people who sew, the fashion designers, you're looking at the guitarists, the organists. I'm telling you, the event organizers, the event planners. Look, the value chain.
Then you have the beverage industry also.
Absolutely.
You see, I'm very...
And tourism.
Do you know, I'm very excited listening to you guys because you're virtually singing the song of Jifa, Gomashi, Rex Omar, and other appointees who have been put in charge of these sectors. We are singing the song because I've been listening to them, and these are the exact same things that we have appointed to. So I think that the time has come, and the alignment of thoughts here.
But they don't come to us.
No, I will take you to them.
No. I was a running mate when I talked about. They should come to me.
No, see.
No, they should come to me.
Don't go on
I've rented the vice president of these two people. I'm coming back for it.
Listen, you see what I mean? The man said he has rented. The man rented right now. I've rented the office of the bank. You have a tenant.
But nation building requires
what you're saying. You see, the essence of what you're saying is the lack of planning and foresight. I will use an example. The last time I went to Côte d'Ivoire, I drove on their 550-kilometer motorway.
Oh, wow.
That was completed not long ago. And the construction, I mean, they had about 200 kilometers. Now, they have 550 kilometers to the north. Wow. Maybe not far from Boli. You can drive maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, you'll be in Boli from Accra.
I see.
And we were sitting here struggling with our railway construction, struggling with the dualization. And we have to know how long it took them to do that. And it all boils down to planning. You go to Abidjan, you see that they've done a boundary, like motorway, to decongest the city.
That's a railroad. We have that
Yes,
here.
yes.
We have it.
And they did that just before the African game. And the bridges they've constructed.
The African games that the people chop 15.
Yeah. No, Africa Cup. That one they got $3 million. They were just flying just 40 minutes.
And all this they planned. And we Ghana and Nigeria, I don't know if it's just because of our common heritage of colonization.
Yeah.
We think that we will leave things to nature.
No.
And you see the flooding in Nigeria that we were talking about. It's all due to lack of planning.
Of course.
Our flooding here is due to lack of planning.
But it's raining.
But you go to our francophone countries, and check what they do. And then we'll turn around and say that it's France doing it for them.
It's raining right
so
now.
The evidence is out there.
Now we are around Jowulu.
Yes.
We are in a big valley. Jowulu, big valley.
Yes.
Now, big valley. The water is coming from the mountains.
Yes.
Tetokashi is a major waterway.
Yes.
The Village is sitting on the waterway.
Yes.
The Accra Mall is sitting on the waterway.
Good.
And so, would you be surprised if we're having floods?
And that's what I'm telling you. Go to the francophone country and see if this can happen.
Hold on.
Go to there and see if that can happen.
You see, it is not merely about planning. That's what the planning we have planned.
Planning, law enforcement as well.
It is the implementation of it. That is always
So there has to be the funding. Has to be there.
Implementation and funding. Funding the people are chopping.
And then enforcement.
The funds they will chop.
And then
Look at
enforcement.
listen, the Garrett. The Garrett project.
They will know
and what's Zoomla, the drag masters. The money is gone.
No, but there's a point that Doc made, and I think that we're not done also. We still have some time. There's a point that Doc made, and I think that we maybe must expand on that. And that point that he made drew my attention to a fact of us not being able to properly coordinate things within our various public sectors. Because you see, if you have noticed, we think that Ministry of Education is independent of Ministry of Youth and Sports.
No.
Ministry of Youth and Sports is independent of Ministry of Agriculture. Ministry of Agriculture is independent of Ministry of Lands. Ministry of Lands is independent of Environment. Environment is independent of what do you call it? The new one is climate change and sustainability. You see, we think that it's independent of communications. But we forget that there's some interconnectedness.
All are interconnected.
Yes, all of them. You see, so you're looking at youth development and education. And you must necessarily, because you see, I think recently I read, and I stand to be corrected, on the introduction or the reintroduction of the games, the school game, the Intakoi things like that. That's why it's fundamental to the development.
Superzonals and what do you call it? That is superzonal.
And they forget that brought about socialization.
Absolutely.
That brought about discipline. And beyond that, you see, there's how do I even put it? So the core is the organization of such events, right? But beyond the peripheries of the core, is there also is also the benefit that we get by way of maybe socialization, because then Prince will now meet somebody from there, then they interconnect.
There are some intangible gains to be gotten.
Brilliant.
Okay. Now I'll help you. I don't know whether you've seen the mandate of the new youth ministry. It's a coordinating ministry. In fact, that is what the National Youth Authority was supposed to be, a coordinating agency. But now the youth ministry, for youth development and so on, is now supposed to work with all these ministries to tease out what you're talking about. Now, so it is not strange that lately you are hearing that it is being reintroduced. It means that they are working. But I want to also move a step further. You realize that the sports ministry, when it was decoupled from the youth ministry, has been made sports and recreation. For very good reason. Even the health benefits of recreation, stress relief, the health benefits of other things that we don't take so seriously, are the reasons why the new government, that's this current government, has even changed the nomenclature of the various ministries. If you look at trade and agribusiness, if you look at agric is there, then they've added other things. If you look at even energy and green, you see. It is telling you the mindset of the president. The vision is clear. He's given Dr. Nimoy Thompson marching orders, and recently the board has been put in place for the National Development Planning Commission to set up a system where all the various plans that have come into being, those wonky 100-year plans, the 40-year plan, all of those together, and for us to see ourselves in it. Because you see, if the NPP doesn't see itself in an NDC policy, they will oppose it.
Yeah.
Likewise, so that's what I'm saying, that the best thing that I've seen happen in this administration is a consultative process. The essence of getting people to buy into and be seeing themselves as part of the process. And I think that is where the legacy of John Mahama will succeed, but we must support him.
The intention of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is clear. Right? But as to whether or not the people that he has put in charge of those ministries respectfully see through the intentions of John Dramani Mahama. Because see, whether we like it or not, we are still, boxed in a certain system where we feel that, for instance, the energy ministry, even though there's an attachment now, right? But the real concept of what energy is something that is still in the mind, imprinted in the minds of whoever it is that is heading the ministry. So the focus and attention right now is still on managing the energy, the doom. No. Hold on. Okay, please. Let's
inherit something.
Hold on. Okay. Yeah, but of course, the president was not oblivious of the challenges that there existed and still exist within that space, but decided to do it energy and green. So if it is green, then the focus really should be a transition from the reliance on thermal. Or sorry, is it thermal?
Thermal and
hydro.
No, to green gas. Do you know that there's a new gas plant that is being put in place?
No,
that's one. No, I'm coming. I'm saying that, you see, when you say thermal and hydro and all those things, if you look at even the cost issues that come up, you look at the fuels that are being used to power the plants, and you look at the gas. Recently, $150 million was wasted even in France. I'm saying that. Yeah. So we're moving in that direction. The next one is also using solar. That ministry is spearheading that, and there's a plan in place to have all the ministries moved off the prepaid, the postpaid into prepaid, and then migrate them into solar.
Yes.
So we had an before the elections. We had an energy reform, and the person who was in charge of that was Dinapo. He knows what the president wants, so he's not oblivious. He is not. I just want you to give him the credit for that. Just give him time. We have a domestic situation we are trying to resolve. Okay? We're trying to have a 24-hour economy. That's 1 second.
I am saying, hold on. You see, so hold on. Please, what we need to understand is that by the introduction of the green aspect of energy to what we currently, or what we've known over the period, it means there's a good transition.
Yes.
Now the question then becomes, are we doing enough? Is it evident that we are transitioning?
Yes.
So that is why I am saying that we need to sort of re-educate or realign persons who have been asked to occupy those positions to appreciate the fact that right now, yes, there is energy ministry, but the focus really, the end game is on renewable energy. And that is why I'm saying that even though we have the nomenclature, it's just names, right? But do they understand what it means? For instance, Elizabeth Ofosue-Jare is heading trade and agribusiness, right? The agribusiness is different from agriculture.
That's true. Yes.
So, what is she doing to say that we have even the trade itself? If you go into trade,
what is agribusiness?
Yeah, exactly, because it's to foster trade.
Because being independent of agriculture, I find
beyond that, even trade and agribusiness is not wrong. But the point is that, agribusiness. If it's agribusiness, for instance, what we wanted to do agro-patch and things like that. Agribusiness to have value for trade. Trade is to import and export. Do you understand what I'm saying? And of course, in the final analysis, what you export is what will generate revenue for you. So it is not bad. However, what I'm saying is that if you say trade, even within the trade itself, what have we done? You got a point.
Let me give you a very typical example of something that you can relate to. For the past 8 years, the high street, the John Evans Atamil's High Street was in total darkness. Are you aware?
Yes.
It had street lights, all right, but it was in total darkness because they weren't working.
Yeah.
They had all gone rusty. Do you know that there's light on the high street?
The minister, she's done well.
No, the Greater Accra Regional Minister made that announcement, but she didn't put it there.
Okay, who did?
I mean, there are sector ministries that are responsible for various key things. Assuming that she said that there will be a green blah 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 in a Greater Accra, you expect the minister to have a budget for that? It will be ministries that are responsible for that. That would make it happen. Now hold on. Now those street lights have come out immediately. They will transition into solar. They will transition in. So let's give them a little space. It takes some time.
What I'm saying is that government must be run, yes, as a business.
Yes.
Now, you have people, investors coming into the country to offer some investment opportunities.
Yes.
I am saying that, for instance, if you were to give mining licenses to foreign investors, because you see, if you call in 2023, 2024, Ghana rated about 150 million or billion dollars by way of foreign direct investments, right? So what I'm saying is that if you want to transition, then you must transition from the ministries. So you said that the ministry, we are going to take you off grid. We are going to now partner with some investors to provide solar for the ministries.
No, that's what they said.
But they've not done it. When are they doing it? Right?
Oh, come on. Look.
Master, I say there's a problem that says that
I see the show.
All right. Let me read a few messages. But we are all in agreement.
Yeah, we are in agreement.
Dr. Val, are we in agreement?
Yes, we are in agreement.
Yes.
And also, you see, when you're talking about green, you don't only rely on government.
Of course.
For countries like the UK, subsidies.
True.
Just to motivate the public to invest in solar.
Do you know
this could have been done long time
ago. The government has announced that there's going to be a subsidy for people who engage in this 24-hour economy and start what do you call it, the shift system. Yeah. And that's electricity consumption even at the peak time.
Let me read a few messages. Let me read a few messages. Good morning to you, Kerry. Afena Makin and his colleagues can bill Chairman Wutimi with ease. They are hesitant because they don't want to expose their ill-gotten wealth and assets to the public. Adom Sambo from Cape Coast sent in this one. This one says that the NDC man is doing what MPP did and lost power. Do you have to defend everything? I'm in NDC. But I think some of the ministers are just not telling Ghanaians the state of the ministries they inherited. And some are not working. This one also says, KOD, I'm so happy about your submissions today concerning the flood in the city. I remember when ex-President Rawlings had blamed ex-President Kufuor for the building of the mall on Waterway. Please, I want Mr. Solo's number. I'm a transport agent in Tema, and I need trucks to haul. Hey, business don't come. Business don't come. I've taken a picture of the number. Solo is into trucks, so this one there, Solo.
Can I say something?
See,
we've given Ken Ofriata too much time to stay outside. Yeah. He has a tax avoidance company in the Cayman Islands. And I think that by now he's shifted money all over.
Take it over there for life.
And the FIC.
Should have run it in my boy.
The movement of funds around the world. Very soon.
Okay. I have given you Solomon Usu's number as well. I've given your number to Solo as well. So
I'll call you.
Make sure you give him my cut.
Very good business.
Okay, you guys. We should tell you guys.
All right. Let's proceed. And this one says, please check your sound. Okay. All right. What's wrong with my sound? Oh. Okay.
When you going on at the government.
Good morning to you. I believe there are some elements within the current administration that seek to thwart the efforts of government. Example, Tamale Metro Mass, Tamale Tatali route is still charging old fares despite the order to reduce. Current management of JIISDE is trying to cover and perhaps to perpetuate the past rot in the company by threatening staff who are pursuing the case. I wish the attention of the presidency could be drawn to these saboteurs, these sabotage. President Eric J will follow up. I can trust you. Trust me on that. However, good morning to you, KOD. I am really enjoying your program. However, I think become chaotic at some point. Please endeavor to your moderation duties. Okay, all right, I can do that. I can do that. Good morning to you, KOD. Solomon Owusu is simply the Solomon in the Bible. He is simply my man. I dislike politics, even though I enjoy political discussion. However, if Solomon has presidential ambition, I am absolutely for him. I need his contact. Oral must work. Richard from Navrongo sent in this one. Solo this one, okay, all right. I've sent your number to the gentleman. Solo, he says thank you. Good morning to you, KOD and the panelists. Please, KOD and King Solomon. They've added King to your name now. I want our party to be the next alternative in Ghana. Let's do Ghana good. From Kaiser, aka Martin Kwebu, number 2. This one says, good morning to you, KOD. With all due respect, your people panel that are making the show uninteresting. They are making too much noise. Please control them. One must speak at a time. From Kwesi Abotwase in OT region. This one also says from Koblavi Pokwasi Benghazi, if Chairman Untimi wants peace and freedom, he should pay. He should pay that huge amount of money he took for construction of roads in rural areas of Bro and Hafo region. He should stop crying like a baby and pay back the money. Yes, you should pay. KOD, when are they going to prosecute Afena Markins for attacking a policeman? The law is the law, no matter the ugly noises. La Paz. Hey, lawyer, okay, all right. Kenneth Orata can fly to hell. Satan will release him. He can seek refuge at the sea. The king of the sea will release him. Now, he may take shelter in the USA. Mr. Trump will release him. It is better for him to report himself to the OSP today as promised. From Amos in Asim Fusu. Thank you, Amos, for your message this morning. Good morning to Kwame and the panelists. In fact, Oral must work vigorously to break every bone to serve as a deterrent to others who will be in government to siphon government coffers. Ibrahim Traore did it. When he came to power, the finance minister embezzled the nation's funds. He was stripped off, leaving his boxer pants stripped, and asked where he kept the stolen funds. Ghana politicians in government positions must twist the same from Tola Itamale, Tola Unyezi crowd. Good morning to you, KOD and the panelists. Please kindly create the awareness to the health professionals through this release for us. We won't agree to that strike action by JRNME. Okay, so there's a letter from the Union of Professional Nurses and Midwives in Ghana, Volta region. Statement: they are dissociating themselves from the industrial action declared by the JRNME, the position of Volta OT branch of UPNMG. Pursuant to joint statement issued by the Union of Professional Nurses and Midwives Ghana and 3 other nursing and midwifery unions on 28th of May 2025, dissociating themselves from the series of industrial actions declared by the JRNME. The Volta OT regional branch of UPNMG declares and reaffirms our unwavering position, support and solidarity with the decision not to be part of this industrial action starting 2nd of June 2025. We see the industrial actions as baseless and unilaterally declared. Leadership therefore directs as follows: all members of UPNMG on duty should go to work and neither participate in nor support any part of the said industrial action in any way. 2, resist any attempt or intimidation by anyone to forcefully get any of our members to participate in the industrial action. Report to the regional UPNMG leadership anyone who attempts to force any member to partake in the industrial action on 0245 877 222 or 0543 227 269. We wish to urge our members to remain resolute and committed to the call by the national leadership to remain at work and provide essential services to the dear people of Ghana while they continue engagement with the government on the subject. We also want to assure you of your security needs while you continue providing these essential services to the patients and clients in your care. We shall come after anyone who touches any of our members for refusing to be part of the strike. Integrity remains our hallmark. Long live UPNMG. From Benjamin Fafa Adevu, Regional PRO. His number is here, 0543 227 269. I have read your message, and I think that you should be happy now. Okay. Okay, this one is quite long. I can't read it. Hello, KOD. Respectfully, what exactly is the NDC's inability to bring MPP members to book? Even when we all know that is the same MPP members who are furnishing government with information, including running some investigations for the government. So I ask, what exactly is the hindrance? Who to me is just one of, obviously, because it's a maverick. They are dangerous ones. The state needs to avert its mind to. But with the way this oral thing is going, I'm sorry, but I do not believe anything meaningful will come out of it. Kafil Al-Hassan Rami from Pram Pram. Kafil.
Oral will work.
Good morning to you. I'm John Mensible. I'd like to share my thoughts on the current debate about appreciating. Oh, Masa, you're not talking about appreciating the city, my brother. KOD, the OSP must bring Kenofrata to Ghana to face all the corruption leveled against him. Hey, Charlie, the message is there.
Yoko will bring him if OSP fails. FIC will bring him if OSP fails.
Good morning to you, KOD. I'm Sam from Laboni. But why is KOD laughing like a Kufuado? Oh.
No, your glasses actually, Charlie.
Yes.
Even your watch is looking like a Kufuado.
Okay, please tell Mr. Solomon, I want him to be my political godfather. Ghana with him sees development. Oral must work. Daniel Bamo from Oti region, Krachi in Chumuru. I was in that region. I went everywhere, man. Good morning to you and your cherished viewers. I'm Godfrey from who I love NDC and trust in JDM more than myself. More fire. Please, I need my honorable NDC man's number. You trust in JDM more than yourself? Wow. Interesting. Hello, good morning. Watching live in Accra. I just love Solomon Uzu. Wow, what a wow. Good morning to you, Lawyer KOD, and your esteemed guest. A Dagbani proverb aptly states, we only carry a cripple to see what is passing, not what is actually coming. Today is Honorable Kenofrata's day, and the consequences of his actions as finance minister then will be seen and heard. His actions as former finance minister will face thorough examination, and the outcomes of his decisions will become evident to all. Honorable Kenofrata, welcome. The memory of death is a big warning to the living. NDC appointees, let's remember to do the right thing, because we shall face the consequences in the future. Aribe from Tamale, chanting this one. Good morning, Kwame. I love your show, and your guests are doing a great job. Is there any arrangement for Kumasi people to take part in the Oramas work? Oh, my brother. No, you know, Solomon Owusu is in full flight, in full control, and we are going to make sure that, you know, Ora indeed does work. I want to say a big thank you to you, Mr. Prince Derek J, for your time this morning. Greatly appreciated. Solomon Owusu, King Solomon, appreciate you. Bolusco. Dr. Val, thank you very much for your time this morning. But most importantly, I want to say a big thank you to the viewers, the wonderful viewers of Pan-African Television. Without you, the show is meaningless. And I want to thank you for always contributing to the conversations and bringing your suggestions to the fore. We are all in this business or enterprise of developing Ghana. Ghana without us is nothing, but Ghana with us is everything. And so let's all endeavor to maneuver and to do the right things, which things will bring development to the good people of this dear republic called Ghana. For those of you who have stolen from the states, if you care deeply about the future of Ghana, if you have kids who are now growing, you must do the right thing. You see, if you return the monies, nobody will come after you. If you return the monies.
What about the land?
Oh, the monies, the lands, yes. They are all part of it. Everything. Just return them and have your peace. Peace of mind over everything, my brother. There is a gentleman who said that when you are within the confines of prison, that is when you appreciate the confines of peace. A word to the wise is not in Boko, it's in Jubilee House. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.